Hello, 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 and welcome back to the review with Heather's Passion Academy. I'm Heather, your host of the day, and we will be reviewing today Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 5. We're talking about this episode is called Waiting to Ex-Wife. And so it's a continuation of the last part of last episode. So we're going to get into it because, why not? Let's get on into it. So, the conversation that was last week was between Destiny and Moses, and they were getting into this heated conversation back and forth about whether or not they uh, were a couple when he and Sunny started back with their situation. Now, let me tell you, this is a lot of first of all, a lot of names are very similar on this show. So that's one thing. But the other thing is there is a lot of overlap neither party wants to admit to. Um I'm not sure if they meant that they waited about 2 days before they were about to get married to let Destiny know that they were a thing. There's a lot because they were firing off a lot of conversation, and she was just saying, she was going to see him, but he wasn't really going to see her. He's saying she neglected him as a woman. He had needs or whatever. And she said, well, I got to put food on my table for myself and my child. He wasn't clear. It's almost like he didn't know she was a single parent when they got together. And from what I'm understanding, is they were friends before all of this. So this is just kind of weird. But then he goes into this thing about, oh, well, you didn't come to see me and you wasn't really down for me and all this stuff. But then you find out that he's paying for her to come to see him in St. Louis or wherever they were. Like, this is the most just convoluted conversation ever. They just really get back and forth into it. He wants more time with her. She's like, listen, I have to take care of business. You said you were going to help me out as far as taking care of all of my household business and everything, and you didn't make good on that. So, I look at you differently. Is basically what they're saying. So it's a lot of back and forth. She was saying that he named his business after the baby law, and he said, "Well, it's called Justice," and she said, "That's the name that we discussed for our baby." So yes, you named your business after that. And what I'm gathering is that there's a lot of conversation happening where he was doing future planning. But, and I guess that's just to string somebody. Well, it is a lot of times when you hear somebody future planning like that, but they really don't make good on anything. It's because they're trying to make things seem like they want a future with you, but really they're just trying to get something else out of you. And it's just unfair to also think that you're going to get a lot of time and attention from a single parent with a small child. It's one of the things you just kind of understand when you sign up to date them. So I think it's a little unfair to think that you're going to get some concentrated alone time with somebody who has a child that's, what, under 5? This kid is what, 2 years old, maybe? So they're not going to have a whole lot of time where, and she's not going to want to spend time away from her little kid. It's different when they get a little bit older. So he tosses around this thing, say, oh, well, I'm healed and you're not. And I just hate that because neither one of them seem healed. Neither one of them seemed like they were in a position to be in a relationship, not a serious relationship. Maybe they could have just been in a little friendship, but that's it. Um, and see, to me, it also feels like Moses just wants someone that he can procreate with, being that he said that he and Sunny are already doing rounds of IVF. I just some about him just don't sit right with me. You can say what you want to say about Destiny. Again, Destiny has her own flaws, but Moses definitely is a problematic person because he's saying a lot of stuff and he's doing different stuff. And again, this man don't own nothing but t-shirts. I just feel like he don't own nothing but t-shirts. Anyway, they get to the conversation where Destiny's like, you just wanted to be my girlfriend, don't you? And he got upset with that. He walks, she finally dismisses him or he leaves or whatever. They end their discussion and he walks away and she has her nice little, it looked like a Mai Tai. I took a picture there because that drink looks really good. Um, Going on to the next scene because yeah, Tisha is going to the gym to train with Tricia. So you got Tisha, however you want to say it, Tricia, Latricia, whatever. But then she comes right in and she gets to work. And when I say I'm already tired from watching them work out, baby, she look like she is serious about getting you together. And she looks like she may be an actual good trainer. I don't know. I'm not motivated yet to work out. I'm gonna just watch them and see how I feel about it. But they did a good job of working out. You know, she really showed her Tisha some things that she could do. You see, she engaging that core right there. They doing these squats, man, squats with those weights. Absolutely not. I don't want to do it. I'm sad. I don't want to do it. Um, so now Tisha has tapped out and decided she needs a water break. I don't blame her. But while they're on break, she decides to get to know Trisha a little bit better, like asking her things like, "Are you originally from Huntsville?" And so she kind of goes into a little bit of her history. She says she went to school with Martell's brother. Tisha says, "Well, I heard that Martell was the bad one, and Martell was the good one." And Trisha said, "I don't know about that. You know, he wasn't as preppy or whatever they want to say as he is now." Now, Trisha says that he's still on that same Trisha just kind of letting her know that, he probably was with the shenanigans back then too, just like he is now. Um and the only thing I'm telling her, just go and say it plainly that he's still on that same foolishness from high school. Now, they also discussing the ex and the boyfriend situation because um what Tisha asked her is, well, I guess my husband knows your husband. And she said, well, no, it's my ex-husband, not my current guy. And Trisha is over explaining her relationship. She could simply just say, I'm in the middle of, or not say, she don't even have to say it. But if she wants to give an explanation, she can simply say, I'm in the process of ending um my marriage, and but I'm also seeing someone. And I think that could just kind of cut the conversation because now, like Tisha said, it sounds like she's in a situationship. Um and she's like, well, I haven't quite divorced, haven't quite filed the paper because they're not talking or whatever. And to be honest, this is not a it's not a red flag situation that I'm concerned about, because I know a lot of people who just simply separate and they never do file the paperwork to actually start the divorce procedures for whatever reason. I come from I ain't gonna say I come from, but I know a lot of older people who just simply don't divorce. They just move on with another relationship, both of them. They don't live together, they don't talk to each other, they just still on paper married. But it never really occurs to them to maybe just go ahead and legally end it. It's not a thing that they do. Um so I just think that for her, it's because Tisha's like, well, that man just don't want to divorce her. But from what it sounds like with this relationship with this guy, she just really doesn't want to have an interaction with him at all. And I know that there are ways for you to divorce without you having to have any contact with the other party. So maybe she needs to look into that a little bit more. Also, y'all, if y'all hear anything in the background, my 2-year-old has infiltrated my studio area, so I can't do anything about that today. She has decided she's going to be a part of the discussion. Anyway, Trisha says that she and Nail. So Tisha's asking her about, some of the ladies on the show so they can get together and talk a little bit or work out. And Trisha lets her know that she knows quite a few of these people. When she asked them, she's like, yeah, I know this person, I know this person. She asked her about Nell, and she says Nell somewhere um is somewhat related to her. um and this is interesting because it seems like she knows everyone. Now Trisha also knows Destiny because she works out with her. Then she also let her know that, she does know Stormi because she and Courtney went to school together, and she's a former client of Stormi. Stormi used to do her hair when she had a hair salon. Um, and so Tisha looked at her and said, I'm gonna have to go and get me another trainer. And she says that jokingly because we all know that Tisha and Stormi don't really get along right now. So Trisha let her know that she did run the situation by Stormi because she wanted to make sure she could get a feel for her, and it wasn't a problem on Stormi's end if she wanted to, um, if she was going to hang out with her or whatever. So at that point, they end the conversation on a good note because they do have a good feeling about each other, and they just kind of move forward and decide they will train together. Um, and so what I'm hoping for is more positive interactions on both of their ends. Hopefully we can just see that they're gonna work out and she's gonna really, you know, get everybody in tip top shape for working out. We hope. In the next scene, Mel hosts a sleepover with her single friends at her home, and they're all like, "Oh, Mel, this is so cute! Oh, look at all this decoration! Oh man, I ain't never done that for me, girl." All that kind of stuff. Now, Mel says it is important for her to forge a better relationship with her single friends, um, because she's newly single. And so there are things that she can discuss with them that her married friends don't understand. I get that. I do. Um, I do think that sometimes you feel like people who are not in your situation don't understand your situation. Um, and that's just understandable, especially if you have married friends that just believe that, there's no reason to divorce or anything like that. And to be honest, some of these people on the show are too apologetic for me when it comes to somebody breaking up. Like, I'm the person that'll throw you a divorce party because you say you needed to get away from that person. And I'm gonna be the person to support you and make sure that you get everything you need. I used to be the kind of person that was like, oh well, I don't really, you should try to work everything out, and then if you can't, um, maybe consider divorce. Now, at the age that I am, child, if it's not working for you, it's just not working for you, and don't tarry, just don't. Anyway, they are talking about a couple little things. They have, the friends come over, they change into their little pink pajamas, and they start with pampering and cocktails. And child, ain't nothing better than pampering and cocktails. So they have their little drinks or whatever. And so they kind of do their little toast to what's going on. The friend over in the corner, I forgot her name. I didn't even take a screenshot. But they kind of keep alluding to wanting her to find someone. And now for me, I think that's a little much as far as I'm concerned. Like, when people are newly single, I don't think the first thing you need to start doing is talking about whether or not that person needs um a new person. I think that sometimes you just need to let people breathe and get used to being themselves before we start, trying to introduce new people, because think about it, she got a lot going on. And then she talks about the charity work that she does in the US, and the her going to Africa to do charity work there. And that's when the friends like, well, maybe we can find you a man there. Uh it's just a lot for me. I think that's too much. Um and then she says Mel is picky, and they talk about like how she's turned several guys down for certain things and stuff like too tall, too short, or missing a tooth. And I'm like, missing a tooth is kind of a big deal, especially if it's a visible area where teeth are missing and they're not necessarily trying to do anything to replace said missing tooth. That would be something that I would be concerned about. Also, the guys that dress differently or look older or act older than what she's really looking for. And I don't think those are far-fetched responses or whatever. And why not pick someone that you actually want to vibe with, that has, maybe if they had like 80 to 90% of the things that you want. Because it doesn't seem like she's too pressed to be in a relationship right now. So she kind of can be a little bit more discriminating. And she doesn't seem like she's desperate for an additional marriage. So she can be picky because she's simply just dating. So she doesn't have to put up with a lot while dating. But they say, well, Mel needs to, adjust her standards and expectations. But I'm like, if that's what y'all presenting to her, then I don't know. I think maybe y'all need to rethink some things. She tells them to take into consideration everything she's doing, who she's been with, and then what she's trying to go through while finding a suitor. She's still on her healing journey. Her kids are still healing. She has an ex that likes to pop up on dates. And also, she just may not be ready. She just may not be ready, They continue to party into dinner time, and again, they have more and more drinks, child, and shots, drinks, shots. Um, then the friend asked her, how does she feel? Does she feel like her relationship with Martell may be a hindrance to where she doesn't want to date since he has been popping up on dates and everything? And then she was like, well, yeah, that's part of the problem. And I'm like, y'all don't get that. Now this is what's funny because she said these people have been holding her down and everything, but this particular friend says she don't follow nothing on social media. She don't be watching stuff. And I'm like, but y'all friends, so you would know. Um, you would know what's going on, especially something that serious. Um, but she said, well, stop allowing people to contribute to this nonsense. uh, Melody says she needs to release herself from her friendship. And she says those married people that are friends with her need to pick a side. I agree because ever since they broke up, everybody's been try to find a way to push them back together. And I just have a problem with that, especially when I've already told you I have a problem with this person because they are doing this. They are disrupting my peace. They are, you know, uh, cheated. He was cheating. He was being very disrespectful. He was being verbally abusive, and everybody's like, well, I think they're gonna find their way back to each other. They don't want to she don't want to find her way back to him, and let her have that. So they are gonna pick a side. They're gonna have to pick a side, but also don't invite him when she's coming, and don't invite her when he's coming. That's the best thing to do. Keep them apart from each other. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, going on to the next scene, we see that Stormi invites Trisha over to discuss the lovers and friend gala. And not only does she invite Trisha over, she goes to answer the door. You see all the roses on the floor, and in walks Martell. He comes in and he extends his hand to Trisha as though, like to say, "Hey, how are you doing? I'm Martell." And she looks over at him and like, are you serious right now? Because apparently they know each other because she went to high school with his brother. And he was like, oh, what, my brother? So this is really weird. The whole energy in this scene was very weird. um but also I just want to say as an aside, Stormi, they paying you to do this scene with Martell? I just find it interesting because, I think at this point, I guess they have to do scenes or whatever. We already know he's not going to do a scene with Melody or whatever. But at some point, do you say, look, I'm not comfortable with doing a scene with him because all this stuff going on? But I guess they don't have those choices. But anyway, moving on. Stormi was saying to production or in the confessional that she needs to play Inspector Gadget with them because something is suspicious. We all agree with that. She sits down and lets them all know that she's having an event. She's wanted to use their bodies. Both of them seem to be very much in shape. And her team asked her if those two could be models to help them display her body glaze and her body oil. By the way, that body glaze is really nice. So if you have not ordered any, you should. It's really good. Um, And so after a little bit of convincing, she does get them to agree to model at the little gala. It's a sexy gala. I guess it's for, I don't know if it's for Valentine's Day or if it's just, a gala that they're doing. They both agree to do the event and Martell leaves. And so she, before he leaves, they toasted. Um, when Martell leaves, Stormi comes back to Tricia and she says, "Now, why is y'all acting weird?" And she said, "Well," Tricia said, "I don't know, because we just saw each other at Target a couple months ago. And everything about this is shady. Everything is shady." So Stormi again thanks her for, modeling for the upcoming event, but she also suggests that Trisha trains him, since he was saying he needs to get back in shape. She said, "Well, why don't you train him?" She said, "Well, I don't train dudes, but I'll make an exception for you." And I would not, if he acting crazy like that, because what Martell is doing is leaving room for people to speculate. And don't put yourself in that position where things could be speculated about the relationship that y'all have, or people can read more into something that is not. I would not put myself in a position to train someone like him that's looking to just find a way to make fire happen where you don't need to. So no, girl, let him go to somebody else if he want. He know how to get himself in shape. He don't need you to train him. Don't do it. Moving to the next scene, these two, Sunni and Moses, are a struggle bus couple. They are a struggle bus couple. They want people to believe that they are whatever it is, and that she wasn't checking for this dude while he was clearly dating Destiny. We got to keep talking about them for a couple more episodes, I guess, or they're gonna be hanging out for the entire season. I'm not sure, but I'm tired of seeing them. I'm also tired of Moses' outfits. They are very athletic and leisurely, and no type of effort put into his outfits. Again, he just got on some joggers or whatever. Look at it. I took a picture of this because I want you to see that we got a full view of his drawers. Pull your pants up. What's going on? Sunny, this what you want? You can have that, I'm sure. So anyway, he shares with Sunny that he went on and met with Destiny. And then Sunny, the first thing she want to know is, how was Destiny dressed? Girl, don't hush. How was she dressed? Are you kidding me? And so it was just really odd, the questions that were being asked. He just doesn't strike me as, so she's like, "Oh, well, what's she dressed like? Blah blah blah." I'm like, he doesn't seem to me the type of guy that's interested in how women are dressed, because he's just worried about when you're gonna take it off. He doesn't have, I don't feel, let me say this. I don't know these people. This is just me going off of things I know and people I've met in this world. He don't seem like he has a lot of depth to his thought processes, his character, and the people that he involves himself with. I just, yeah, that's about where I'm at. Um, he says, it got a little bit heated, and um, she feels like we stabbed her in her back. Well, you kind of did, kind of. It does feel like a little. It's a gut punch, at least, to know that somebody that you were just recently dated suddenly marries somebody that you considered a friend, whether she wants to be considered a friend or not. Y'all were friendly, and that's enough. You knew enough about her that you know it. It's whatever. And so she points out, so here's the thing. This is why we really not checking for Sunni, because at every turn, she wants to tell you why she is the better catch over Destiny or anyone else. She's like, all these years you were a side chick. Girl, if she's telling you and talking to you and confiding in you, and she's saying, well, it's my job to be a producer. Okay, I get that. I understand that 100%. But if you know this much about this dude, then what made him appealing to you? What made him so irresistible after hearing that or knowing that he has all these women's or whatever else that, oh, okay, well, this is a catch. I'd like to, not have female friends, especially those who have a guy that I want to date. Girl, I don't know. Get yourself together. But she is very much hell bent on trying to make Destiny look bad. Destiny can make herself look bad on her own for a myriad of reasons. This isn't one of them. She was saying Destiny don't know 5 things about me. She don't know who my friends are. She don't know my middle name. I have enough friends. Da da da. This just sounds like pick me rhetoric. This sounds like pick me rhetoric. She got a big chip on her shoulder and she just need to get her some dip, because baby, what we gonna do about that? They keep saying they had a work relationship, da da da. These rehearsed things that they keep saying still doesn't make them look good. She was saying, well, she was just fresh out of relationship, getting into this relationship with you. And I'm like, he was just fresh out of relationship too. This is what I don't understand. So what's the difference between one being in a place and getting with somebody and the other? Y'all both is just, I don't know. Anyway, then he lets her know that he did forget to put his ring on when he went to see her. Now, why did he need to say that? And why did he do it? I don't know. It's really weird to me. These two are weird. Okay. Weird. And so she's like, Destiny just gonna have to deal with it. And I'm so glad you chose me out of all these women. Girl, that's just like saying, I got this bag of apples. And I just stuck my hand in the bag and picked one out of it. I don't go on to the next thing. Next thing, Trisha and Ken are having a romantic dinner together in honor of her birthday. Ken made them dinner and everything, and he admittedly says that he hasn't been the best at showing affection, and he wasn't really good at gift giving in the past. So he's trying to make some changes and kind of pretty much make up for the person he was in the past by showing her a little bit of a different type of person that he's become. And so he gifts her with a bracelet for her birthday, and she's very happy about this bracelet. And it seems like they are in a good place. Let me just say that I really do think they're in a good place. He says he enjoys making her happy, and they talk about what they want to do for the night. She says she want to, watch and some TV, relax, maybe watch a show that has some killing in it or something. Trisha, baby, go lay on somebody's couch, because you got a lot of hidden anger. But she also lets him know that she did have a positive interaction with Tisha at the gym, and she wants to get to know her for herself. And everything right now is so far so good. Then she tells him about the weird interaction with Martell and how everything was just kind of weird. And Ken says, well, we see him when we're out. We see him all the time when we out. We went to his little magazine party. And he said, I don't really know him as well as you do, but he should definitely know you. So this is again one of those things, your antenna should be going up. Martell is trying to set it up to make it seem like something's more than what it is. Anyway, so he moves the conversation back to the bracelet, and she was saying she really likes the bracelet, and he lets her know that he has been looking at rings, and just, this is my intention. So she wants to know, I guess, what's the holdup, and he lets her know, I'm just waiting on you to get some paper signed. I'm not gonna move forward until we get some paper signed. And she was saying to him that marriage is a little scary. The thought of marriage is scary. And he understands that, but he just wants to know that the intention at the end of the day is that they are gonna be the ones getting together. Um, I do wanna hear the rest of the story on why she hasn't pulled the trigger yet. Like I said, a lot of times people just walk away, and then once they're in a place where they wanna be with someone else or maybe wanna marry the other person, sometimes that's when they do file the paperwork. Other times they're fine the way they are, and they don't really care about marriage, period, and, they just hang out like that for the duration. I'm not sure. But overall, to me, Trisha comes off a little awkward on camera. And I don't know if it's because she's just trying to get acclimated to being on camera, if she just uh, loses her way, her talking. Like it just seems like she freezes up a lot. I'm not sure what it is. If she's trying to hold back and not say too much because of her situation, something's not quite adding up for me, and I would like to know what that is later on. That's one of those things that I'd be interested in knowing, what's going on in the background. Uh, Again, I'd love to see what's going on with this couple, because they do seem as though they're more together than most, to be honest. I do like the fact that, we hear more and more about them, and that they are a couple that, you know, they have intentions. They know each other's past. He's not shying away from the fact that she is in a relationship, and he has something a little messier going on as well. So it'd be interesting to see how their relationship unfolds in this season. I just hope that we can focus more on that part. But we're just gonna see what happens next week. We see it look like it's gonna be explosive next week too. They just trying their best to be some real explosive people this season. But yeah, that's it. And so everything else is continued into next season. Until next episode. I'm sorry, to next episode. I want to just see what's going on with this weirdness between Trisha and Martell. Martell need to stop playing games. Sunni and Moses could just please get off camera. They could go. But that's it. That's all we have for this episode. Please tune in to some of the other reviews I will be doing on other shows, other reality shows. Some of the maybe I'll do scripted one day, but I'll be posting more videos as time progresses. Like I said, I'm getting back into doing reviews and everything, so bear with me. I'm gonna post more regularly. I will. But thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you hit the notification bell so you'll know when the next video is coming out. Thank you again for watching, and you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.